Well, that didn't take long. Gun Meme Review. What is up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers? Today is a good day for everybody except gun grabbers and Glock's PR team. It's always a good day if you're Ice Cube, though.
Today was a good day.
That joke sucks, don't include that. But if you haven't heard yet, breaking news! Glock's new Model V that was designed to be able to not accept a full auto Glock switch, making the pistol impossible to convert to a machine gun, has already been made into a machine gun. I don't even think these things are in stores yet, and some Chad has already found out how to put a switch in it. Life update, we are so back. Kitty meme. Seeing V model switches after less than a week of sales.
Shit, that was fast.
Yeah, as soon as they announced the Glock Model V, I went on record saying that if I got my hands on one, at max 2 weeks before we figure out how to make it a machine gun. Some absolute Chad appears to have beaten me to it. And time? Not even a month after they fucking announced it. You can't stop the signal, Mel. Or as a lot of memes have already put it, life,
finds a way.
Glock after releasing the V models and someone immediately develops a switch for it. Listen here, you little shit. Yeah, I don't know how Glock thought this was gonna go, frankly. I know they were trying to get the anti-gun crowd off of their back, facing a handful of lawsuits from individual states saying that Glocks were too easy to convert. But seriously, you didn't think it would take one redneck and like 10 minutes and a Dremel to figure this shit out? Glock Gen V. Tinkerers with no formal engineering training. Look at what they need to mimic a fraction of our power. Glock introduces the V series to stop switch use. 30 minutes later, I don't enjoy the Model V, but when switched righteously, it's just a Glock like any other. Speaking of, are you guys as excited as I am that the new Fallout season is New Vegas?
So this is Vegas, huh?
I love the idea of doing Fallout New Vegas. I just hope they don't fuck it up. Come back to this video in a month and tell me if this aged well. The Glock V model is just a Gen 5 with extra steps that can be easily defeated by a determined criminal. Glock and California. Yeah, the whole premise was fucking stupid in the first place. Essentially, all of this happened because states like California were being absurdly gay about it. The argument was that because the Glock can accept a switch in the back, meaning you take the back plate off of a Glock, and insert what is essentially a drop-in auto-sear, that it is too readily convertible into a machine gun. As the ATF has ruled in the past, if something is too readily convertible into a machine gun, then it is basically a machine gun in and of itself. Except that's fucking dumb in the case of the Glock, and here's why. In previous rulings with other guns that were deemed readily convertible into machine guns, that's using parts that are not regulated as machine guns. Like, for example, an AK or an AR auto-sear, those are not regulated parts. You can just buy them off the shelf for like $10. There's millions of them in circulation because they were a very common piece. Readily convertible is the same reason why you can't own an AR-15 or an AK that already has the hole drilled to accept an auto-sear. Because then pretty much any dipshit off the street could just figure out how to, fit in an auto-sear and then voila, you have a machine gun. Except for what's called a drop-in auto-sear. They have them for ARs and a host of other weapon platforms. As the name describes, it is a drop-in piece that can just be basically put into your gun that converts a normally semi-automatic weapon into a machine gun without any permanent modification. Those are already regulated as machine guns, the drop-in auto-sears themselves. You don't have to register the gun as a machine gun because it isn't. The machine gun legally is the drop-in auto-sear, which is exactly how the Glock auto-sears work, because you need that piece specifically in order to convert it to a machine gun, and that piece is regulated as the machine gun. Long way around to say California is being fucking gay about this, and they don't know the law, and Glock caved to it. Except once again, life finds a way. And by life, I mean gun nerds with access to basic hand tools and or a 3D printer. And there you have it. It's been, a couple of weeks at most? LMAO, gun control is a dead idea. We are collectively smarter than the other side, and it's not close. Not even a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't hurt that our side also knows the law, as well as actually knows how the pistols mechanically function, so, yeah, good luck out-regulating us. I would wager that a good people involved in the decision-making in California don't even know that a Glock switch is illegal. Speaking of illegal, what California did to try to regulate them is illegal, or at least unconstitutional. The Supreme Court of the United States in Heller, 2008, already explicitly said handguns cannot be banned by the government. Gavin Newsom. That sign won't stop me because I can't read. Yes, while he's trying to cringe fest his way into the beginning of a presidential candidacy, The state of California is unconstitutionally trying to stick it to the average gun owner that lives there, much in the style of Marcellus Wallace from Pulp Fiction.
I'm pretty fucking far from okay.
At this time of year is where a lot of us start looking for a fresh start. From eating better to losing weight. You notice I'm down quite a bit. You guys let me get fat a while ago. Don't ever do that again. Long story short, we all have some bad habits to stop and some good ones to start. For one, this could be the year you choose to get out of debt and stop being crushed by it. First step to that, contact PDS Debt to get your personalized debt solution. If you're making payments every month on your debt and your balances aren't going down, PDS might have a solution for you. Anyone with $10,000 or more in eligible debt qualifies, no minimum credit score required. Bad and fair credit accepted. The whole point is that you can save more while paying off your debt in a fraction of the time. Look, whether it's personal debt or the fact that the country is in crippling debt, getting out of debt is never a bad thing. And you can make this the year that you finally get out of debt. You can get your free debt analysis going to pdsdebt.com/bh. It only takes 30 seconds. So that's pdsdebt.com/bh. pdsdebt.com/bh. Thank you again to PDS Debt for sponsoring this video. I'd also like to take a second to thank our channel sponsor again, SDI. If you've ever wanted to get your start in gunsmithing and weapons technology, you can check out sdi.edu down in the links in the description and in the pinned comment. Speaking of gunsmithing, Glock engineers, when they realize gangbangers are converting their pistols into useless noisemakers that can't hit a barn door. Glock V series. Yeah, if you've never shot a full auto Glock before, it is, unless you're a very experienced shooter, completely uncontrollable. Like when we do our big range days and stuff like that, we don't even bring them out because if you're not an experienced shooter, it's damn near fucking dangerous. Also, what the fuck is up with the name V series? Like, where did that come from? The naming convention on Glocks was already weird as shit. When you're already confused by Glock model names and they start adding random ass letters. It's also weird because it's like V, which is the Roman numeral for 5. But Glock was already on the Gen 5. That was what came before the V, so it should be the 6, but it's the 5, or the V. Why? Glock, why?
Wow!
It's kind of like the Glock 22 is a 40 cal, but the 22 caliber Glock is the Glock 44, and the Glock 45 is a 9, and why do you do this? Although I did have a theory that they named it the Glock Model V as like a nod to the fact that they didn't actually change anything. So like it's just another way of saying Gen 5, kind of like a fuck you. I don't think that's why they did it, but it is very funny to think about.
But you can imagine what it'd be like if they did, right?
They even gave us the head start by doing a video breaking down what's different on the Glock Model V. Notch or post on the trigger housing is a different shape. The slide, they've added this ramp. Temu switch makers. Write that down, write that down. Yeah, that's fucking wild. As I was mentioning earlier in this video, you know, the Glock switch is a drop-in auto sear that is regulated as an NFA item, meaning that if you get caught with one unregistered, it's treated like a machine gun, so it's, I think it's a $250,000 fine and or 10 years in prison. Like, it's a pretty serious buttfuck prison felony. And like Wish.com and Temu just got famous for selling that shit for $30 because God knows if an American makes something, China doesn't give a fuck what it is, they will make a discount knockoff. Well, in this case, I don't think he was American. You know what I mean? Glock V-Series design changes. You can't defeat me. 3D printing community. I know, but he can. Temu. It's actually kind of funny because I think this meme predated the Glock switch on the Model V. Because if you zoom in on these pictures, that definitely looks 3D printed. Like you can see the plastic layer lines and everything. But I'm confident it's only a matter of time before Temu has one. Glock. We've completely redesigned our guns so they can't be used with switches. Temu. We got Glock V switches in stock for $5.99. Glock perfection. Temu. I did see somebody post on Twitter something that makes this a lot funnier too. Ezra says, he had to modify the switch and he said that there's still some work left to make it fit on the frame. He said it won't be able to be select fire because he had to cut off too much of the sear trip, meaning it'll be full auto only. So not only did they fail to make it unconvertible to a machine gun, they made it so where it can only be a fucking machine gun. I mean, at least for now, which is objectively very funny. Well, let's face it, anybody that knew anything about the Glock design or the switches or anything like that, we knew from day one. Half an hour, some hand tools, and a couple brewskis, and we're putting a ghetto button on that fucking thing. As much as the state of California and Glock probably would prefer that we didn't. Catherine Glonk. Stop doing this, guys! The jury's out as to whether or not this new development will affect Glock horse cum sales. With ironically, California probably being their biggest importer of cum anyway. But the biggest problem with this is just the premise in the first place is we shouldn't be caving to anti-gunners like this, because soon as you give them an inch, they're never happy. They'll always go to take a mile. They always have, they always will, because they don't want common sense gun restrictions, which, what the fuck does that mean? They're always pushing for more, and whether they like to admit it or not, the vast majority of them would love to see a country where all of the guns are confiscated. But they'll hide under the shield of moderate gun restrictions to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, as we've seen with the last 100+ years of gun restrictions that aren't ever good enough. And if you think I'm wrong on this, well, buckle up. Everytown for Gun Safety Support Fund calls on Ruger to immediately cease the manufacture and sale of the RXM pistol, which evidence suggests can be easily converted into an illegal machine gun. If you give an anti-gunner a concession, yeah, the essentially Glock clone that Ruger just put out is now being targeted for the same thing that they went after the Glock for. If we keep giving in, this will not stop. Even though I've legitimately never seen one of those ever converted to full auto, by the way. As Ruger must have known, introducing such a design into the marketplace risks exacerbating the proliferation of illegal machine guns on the streets. Can you show me the Ruger switch? Eat shit and take your 5 fans. Now, while I'm pretty sure that that doesn't exist yet, if you did give the average 3D printer / gun tinkering nerd enough Vyvanse, you'd have one before the end of the day. There's a saying I've said before, but it's kind of true. Every semi-automatic weapon is a broken machine gun waiting to be fixed. If it can fire semi-auto with the right tools and the right parts, it can be full auto. Fuck, if you gave me enough time and some servo motors and shit, I could turn a bolt action into a machine gun. You get a crank fire weapon and you give me a DeWalt drill, I can turn that into a machine gun. People just freak out about this stuff because they're ignorant of the law. Long story short, this shit's stupid. All gun laws are infringements. This shit should be legal anyway. As far as how different pistol manufacturers have approached this problem, it's hard to argue with the HK style so far. Make them too fucking expensive for criminals. Glock. I better change all my guns so those inner city youths don't put switches on them. HK. You ever see a gangbanger with a Mark 23? Case closed. Honestly, fair point. Now, did I just include that meme because I wanted to flex this Mark 23? Yes. Also, it lines up with all the Metal Gear shit I've been seeing lately after the Metal Gear Delta release, so. Colonel, I'm trying to sneak around, but I'm dummy thick. The clap of my ass cheeks keeps alerting the guards. But speaking of expensive iconic weaponry, we have a video coming out next week. I can go ahead and spoil that, I think. Monday at noon, we will be releasing a video on the AA-12. The full auto 12-gauge shotgun, you remember, FPS Rush's video, the Expendables, Call of Duty. They basically all got confiscated by the ATF, but we managed to get our hands on some. So this is the video I never thought I would get the chance to make. I'm super fucking stoked about it. So tune in Monday at noon for that. Also, the new giveaway for the campaign is pretty fucking dope. If you haven't seen that, the links are in the description and the pinned comment where you can donate. Every increment of $5 is a new entry, so $5 is 1, $10 is 2, 20 is 4, etc. We are kicking ass and taking names this campaign cycle, and it is because of you guys, and I just want to say I appreciate that. That pretty much wraps up the announcements, and that wraps up this episode of Gun Meme Review. Be sure to tell me in the comments what you think about how Glock has handled this situation, and what you think is going to happen moving forward. As always, I'm King Trout, and I will see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Monday, noon. Thanks, guys.
Fuel is my obsession to make the perfect weapon, like Rasputin's rise to the top.
And time. Why my watch be doing that?